Alrighty, welcome back to another episode of the Red and Black Wrestling Show. I am joined by our guest, James Ryan. Last time we had him on the show, he was a former graduate competing for Gannon University, or Kutztown University, at one point. Um, Now, Division Two coach with the little furry friend to join us for the ride, at Thomas More University. So a bunch has happened since we've last seen you. Let's catch the people up. How's everything been so far?
Things are great. It's great to sit down and talk with you. I love what's going on. Just excited to be on here. Things are going great.
And like I mentioned before, last time we spoke, you were a competitor, now a coach. When did that transition begin?
Yeah, so last year is my final year competing. It's back the 2025 season. And then it was always the plan all along to I love wrestling. I was gonna coach just if that was on a high school level, college level, and I came across a great opportunity at Thomas More University, right in Northern Kentucky. And I'm the grad assistant coach there. I'm finishing out my grad degree in teaching, so gonna have that degree in teaching. Need to go into high school coaching, and now I'm getting experience coaching at the college level, so I have that too as another avenue to explore. But I love it. It's been a great time. I'm in a great place, great people, great head coaches, great assistant coaches, great wrestlers on the team. It's been a great time our first season here.
And for people who may not know too much about Thomas More, what are some things you can share about Thomas More University?
Um, which a lot of your audience probably not familiar. It's a little bit of ways away. We are in Crestview Hills, Kentucky, which is 15 minutes outside of downtown Cincinnati. So we are maybe not the Kentucky that you would think of. We are pretty much a suburban metro area of Cincinnati, which is a great city. I love living here. It's a lot kind of similar to where Staten Island, New Jersey, Long Island kind of feels like that in a way. We are a Division II program. We just transitioned from NAIA 3 years ago now. This season was our first season competing in the postseason because there's a 2 year transitionary period where you can compete as a Division II school, but you can't compete in the postseason. So we're coming off of first postseason. We brought three guys into the match to go because you got to take top three at the Super Region. We end up dropping those matches, but overall, it was a great season. We're a really young team, a lot of momentum, and I'm excited for what's to come next year.
And for some people who, after this video, after this episode, may take a potential interest in Thomas More University, what are like the GPA requirements and some of your potential like outstanding programs that you have that could be a bit of a draw to some of these wrestlers who could be interested?
Yeah, as far as a GPA requirement, we'd prefer you to have a 3.0 GPA because we're a pretty strong academic institution, and at a Division II level, obviously we're focused on wrestling, but we need to you need to come to us with this is what I want to do after, or we can help you guys. You there. We want people, we want students, we want people looking outside of sport of wrestling. What am I gonna do with the rest of my life? And that's really what we're about here. We have a very good business program. I'm actually in the master's teaching program, very good education department, undergrad and grad. And we have pretty good nursing department, a lot of environmental, not really my field there, but we have a bunch of guys on the team in the biology field. So we're a smaller school, but we have like just about 30 undergrad programs. So there's a lot to choose from, but I would say the major ones is probably business, nursing, and education.
And why should an athlete specifically choose Thomas More University?
I would say I very complimentary of our head coach, Jason Russell. He's the man. He's a great coach. He's been probably coach at Thomas for like 10 years now. Um, he's a great dude. He's a great coach. It's really down to earth. Um, we want to balance here. It's not grind your head against the wall tough, but at the end of the day, we've produced nationally level wrestlers in the NAI level. We've had in our time in NAI, we had I think three top 10 finishes in the country. Uh, three trips with an individual in national finals, and then I don't know the exact number off my head, but I think it's over. I think it's double digits All American. So, uh, my pitch, just from the fake recruit I'd be talking to, is you're gonna be in a great area. You're gonna be at a very good university, small class size that care about you. You're going to be in a program that cares about you. And I would say we just have a really tight knit team. These dudes are like best friends. They're kind of glued to each other. I think they hang out even a little too much. And you're going to win here. If you put the work in, you have all the access to win here. What all around having an overall great experience as a student athlete.
And
Well
for
rounded would be the word I
well,
would
there we
wrap it
go.
up with.
Um, and then there's a bunch of athletes who, along the recruiting process, don't really know too much what coaches are expecting out of them. So, what could be your potential advice to these wrestlers who are going through this process of things that they should be doing to kind of entice coaches, or things that coaches are looking for that wrestlers don't even know that they're actually keeping an eye out for, whether that's wrestling or academic?
That's a great question. And I actually have a strong opinion on this question. And this is something I did as a student athlete, and we love when we see it from prospective student athletes is reach out. Don't be invisible. Don't expect, I mean, obviously, you know, we're at a lot of tournaments. We're looking up and down every day trying to find kids, but there's so many wrestlers out there, especially if maybe, I don't know, it's just if you're from California, I might not see you. You might be a great wrestler and a fantastic fit for this program, but it'd be a little hard to find you. So I would say if you're interested, reach out to as many coaches as possible. And then from the wrestling academic end, good grades, you know, not going to hurt you at the end of the day. It's probably one of the most important things we look at. One, so we know that you're going to get through and graduate from the school, to kind of judge your character a little bit from that. And then also, especially, I just honestly, I could say D1 down, D1, D2, D3, NAIA. It's going to help you out financially. The better grades you have, one, the more options you have for schools. Two, the more money you're going to get financially, which helps you. Obviously, I'm the athlete then in the divisions that give scholarships, right? We just package on to that. And then from us, and we don't want you a little more because we can package you a little more competitively with the better grades you have. First, if you didn't have the greatest grades in the world, they got to give you good money to even be in the ballpark. For as a kid that has a 4.0 GPA, we can get him to a full ride without using a lot of our money. So that's from the coach's perspective, it's grades, character, and just put yourself out there. Compete as much as you can, right? With staying healthy, everything else, and reach out. Be pro. I would say the biggest takeaway, be proactive about your recruiting process. Don't expect everything to fall to you. Because even the big guys, maybe your top 100 recruits, yeah, they have a lot of schools, but there might be a school or two that they wanted to reach out that didn't. I would even say for those guys, reach out.
Yeah, 100%, definitely like you said, being invisible, it like goes to that phrase, closed mouths don't get fed. Sometimes it takes speaking up and saying something to kind of draw attention to yourself. Because like you said, sometimes you're just not on someone's radar, and that's not because you're not good or you don't have the qualifications. Like you said, sometimes you're the perfect fit, but you're just not on that person's radar, whether that's due to distance reasons or maybe you just didn't bring that attention to yourself to be like, hey, I am interested and I am a great fit for this program. Um, what are some more specific advice you can give to even some of the younger wrestlers that are possibly considering wrestling in college that may not know entirely where they want to go to compete in college? Um, Kind of just maybe a bit confused, not sure what they want to do. As someone who was once in their shoes, what can you say to them?
Yeah, that's another great question. And it because piggybacking off the last thing is just being proactive, right?
Right.
Like it's really not that you need to be obsessed with, but I don't think it's ever too early to start thinking about college. Just having a thought in your mind of what you want to do, right? Well, does it come from a person that just like that changes majors and transferred a bunch? So you never know, you know exactly what you're doing, but as long as you're taking steps in the right directions and keeping an open mind, and I would say, no matter where you're at as a wrestler, student, or wherever, consider all divisions, right? Do not, and this is something that I think I could kind of talk openly about. Like, I've been around the block, I transferred a few times. I definitely got dead set on division in the beginning, like, oh, this is Division One, this is D2, whatever it is. Where like I would say, you go on a visit, just take that, keep the D, take out the number. Just visit the school. Is this a place that I could see myself at being successful in the classroom, athletically, socially? Is it a place that shares my same goals and missions and morals and everything else? So, is keeping an open mind and being proactive. That's what I would tell recruits, young or just younger athletes that really have the goal to wrestle at the collegiate level, because there's so many opportunities out there, right? There is there's new programs at all divisions getting added like all the time. So there are so many opportunities out there. It's about finding the best opportunity for you.
100%. Definitely capitalizing on those great opportunities. Like you said, there's a lot of schools that are coming out with programs still. Like Mercyhurst University just recently launched their women's program as well,
Mhm.
especially with like women's wrestling growing too. I know it's like a little bit of like
Women's exploding,
it's
which is awesome.
exploding, right? It's like it they're practically throwing money at these wrestlers to be like, hey, we have a program that we just started, come to us. Like we just got a whole bunch like, come to us, come to us, come to us. Um, so it's definitely a lot of exploring, figuring out what's right for you. And like you said, it's setting up that long-term plan. From other coaches that I've spoken to, it's not just 4 years. It's technically think of it as your next 40. Like this is what's sorry. This is what's going to be setting up like your career, your retirement, how you're going to provide for your family. So it's much more than just 4 years in a classroom. It's really how you want to build it's the foundation for the rest of your life.
I 100% agree. Um, you get the cliche, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah.
Like when you're in college, just advice to any college that like don't be the person that hangs around their dorm all day. Be proactive. Well, just your peers, your classmates, be proactive in the community, intern, whatever that is, and just being around more people the more you expand your network for whatever it is. Just academically, socially,
Yeah.
athletically, the more people you know, the more you can present yourself as a good person and someone that they would kind of want to, whether it's do business or just have a relationship in the future. Like, it's so important. And that kind of like at college, you're kind of finding who you are as a person. And
Yeah.
as you're doing that, you're writing your story, you're setting your path for your next however many years of your life, your career, everything else. So my advice with that is just don't be invisible. The same thing I'm saying, like be proactive, be around, get to know people because it can set you up for the future.
100%. And um like I said, it's so much of that goes back to kind of like a lot of the same talking points we've been making, like being proactive, making sure you're doing all the right things, whether it's in and out of the classroom, on and off the mat, you know, like you said, kind of networking a bit, kind of finding your footing outside of the classroom and out off the mat. Um, what are some of those social activities or even some of the different lifestyles a student at Thomas More can experience on campus?
Um, so I would say the best part about Thomas More is its location. We are 15 minutes from downtown Cincinnati, and if you're talking the academic and then career paths, there is I want to say nine Fortune 500 companies in Cincinnati, plus plenty of stuff in the medical industry and everything else. And it's a major metropolitan city, right? So like on the career path wise, you're flooded with opportunity, right? There is Cincinnati, Covington, Newport. Those are all Covington and Newport are right near Cincinnati. Just tons of companies and employment opportunities right there. And then for the social aspect, you have kind of. I love the area. I love those. I love Cincinnati. I love Covenant. Newport is a lot to do. Food, restaurants. We are 15 minutes from the Reds and Bengals stadiums, so that's right there. So there is so much to do. Even on the Kentucky side, away from the city, there is so much to do around here. For you name something you want to do, you can do it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's very enticing for, a lot of these wrestlers. So if you're watching this episode and this things that are being said here that sound a bit of interest, Thomas More University might be the fit for some of these guys out here. Um,
Could
what
be,
are
and the,
yeah, yeah.
to piggyback off of that, like a large amount of our team is from the Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana area, but you know, I want to get some of the East Coast guys over here, New York, New Jersey guys. Like we got good wrestling out there, and this could be a great opportunity, a great fit for a lot of those athletes.
100%. And for some of these guys who may not even because obviously we come a few years before this next generation kind of came in and took over. You're a former New York State champion yourself, three-time CHSA sectional champion. I mean, you are a guy who's walked the walk. You're not just talking the talk. You've laced up the shoes and done the work and earned your stripes. So this is all coming from a place of experience, from this big journey you've been on yourself. So a lot of our wrestlers who might be watching this at home, James Ryan has been one of our guys. He's done it himself, like I said. So if you're looking for that college experience, looking to get to that next level, looking to be trained by a high caliber wrestler, not only did you accomplish what you did in high school, I mean, you were also an All-American for Virginia Beach as well, before you went and competed collegiately, but a multiple time NCAA qualifier yourself. So for you guys who are at home watching this, I mean, this is all um, kind of like what you are looking to aspire to accomplish, and you can get that level of training in your room. So for some of our guys, keeping the CHSA lineage alive, we can be spreading all the way down to Kentucky if we do this
Yeah,
right.
no, and I'd love to see it. And then you're talking way too nice of me. I make me feel really good. I appreciate it. But no, and from the outside perspective now, the last couple of years I've been in college and then now coach and just seeing what the Catholic schools have done, it makes me proud because I know at the high end, like I think my senior year, I think we took fourth as a section, which was really good out of at
That was the
least
highest
second like
finish at the
every year. And
time.
it's an awesome thing to see because I always, yeah, and that was a great tournament. Like myself, your brother Terry. Bunch of other guys, a couple of Iona St. Francis guy. That was an awesome group. And I
Yeah.
think it was pretty older senior ridden group, so it made sense. But that was an awesome group. And just seeing where it's at now, like I always knew the talent was there with the schools, and it's really fun to watch. It's really fun to follow and root for the Catholic guys, and it makes me happy seeing the success they're having over there.
Thank you so much. That really means a lot. Like I said, coming from us, that previous generation, having, kind of like the generation before us, laying out the stones, the path for the next generation to come, knowing that at the time we were putting forward some of the highest finishes that we were seeing, to see that now it's being exceeded and being done by the next generation.
Oh yeah,
And this group here is super young, super dangerous. Like you said, at
yep,
our time, it was on our way out. I
yeah.
think going into my senior year, because that was 2019, your senior year,
Mhm.
a lot of our sectional champions were seniors. I think for the exception of me and Sean Flick, and I think Thomas Salaji, who ended up transferring to MacArthur the next year, we only had like two or three returning sectional champs, whereas we had, up until your graduating year, many returning champs. Um, so it's kind of almost like a little reset in a way. Um, Whereas now, like I mentioned, we have super young and dangerous class, and we just finished up a second place sectional finish and first back-to-back CHSA sectional New York State championship team, which is crazy history, and we're witnessing it here before our very eyes.
Yeah, and no, it's amazing to watch. I think the level just in general of high school wrestling has raised too, which makes it even more impressive. Like, to be honest, even a few years ago, I think some of these high level guys were better than me and better guys I was wrestling at the time. Like, I think the level of high school wrestling is skyrocketed, and then obviously in the CSSA, and then a lot of things you see, like that 2019 2020 class, like it was had a pretty good tournament, and obviously there's a lot of other outside factors in the CSA, a lot of injection of coaching, guys coming back and coaching that are the factors for the success. But sometimes, because those kids, it's gonna make me sound old, those kids probably like early middle school at the time. They just need to see success, and like this is stuff we talk about on a collegiate level, is in the high school level, is a lot of times a kid from your hometown, when someone else, let's say, wins the state tournament, they're like, "Man, I know that guy. He comes into the room. Man, I see him at the corner store. We go to the same church or whatever." Like, be like, he's not that much different from me. I could be him. Like, as soon as what you'll see it a lot. As soon as like the first guy in program history that does something, then they follow.
Yeah.
You see it a lot, and I think that's part of it in the CSSA, is that you have those kind of role models and mentors for kids to look up to. And then the beauty, especially with high school wrestling, a lot of those guys come back. Your brother Terry, um, he's back. He's back at Farrell. He's in the room. Obviously, he's doing a great job there. Matt Seitz at Farrell. He was a guy I looked up to when I was younger. I was a freshman. He was a senior. I knew him before. That was a guy I looked up to. And I'm like, man, if Seitz can do as well as he's doing, I can. Like, and especially those guys, it's kind of a two-edged street with that. Like when you're younger, you see that, and then once you get to the age you're able to do it, if those guys are able to come back as an alumni and coach, which is the case a lot of times, it's just that's how great programs are built. It's just kind of the ecosystem of that.
Yeah, and honestly, it's a beautiful thing because like I can also say like from my experience, I've experienced that part. Like, I guess like I can now say this very comfortably, but like the way that you and Terry viewed sites was the way that I viewed you and Terry coming into the room from middle school to high school.
Uh,
And
don't make
on
me feel
my
too good.
what happened?
Don't make me feel too good.
Oh, I can't. You know what? We might not have enough time if that was the goal. Um, but I know something for me personally because of the layout of the Farrah wrestling room. Like obviously Terry is my brother, but obviously being so close with you as well, seeing you accomplished everything that you were accomplishing at the time, um, it was like kind of like what you were saying. It was like, oh my God, like Jimmy's doing it. Why can't I? Not that there was like, oh, like anything like that. You know what I mean? It was like, I'm in the same room as this kid. He's one of my practice partners. He's clear evidence that this is capable of being achieved, you know?
I had fifth period lunch with him.
Right, right, right.
We share the same snacks sometimes. And as stupid as that sound, it's a real thing.
It's a real thing. And like think about how many conversations we were having in those lunch periods about like our wrestling practices, our wrestling schedule, some of like matchups that we were looking forward to having, things that we were looking forward to accomplishing. Like how much of even though it was in school, that conversation was still about wrestling. And one of the things I vividly remember doing, especially after like you won your first sectional title, and obviously Terry won his, seeing the faces on the wall and seeing where it ended up, and then,
Yeah.
we were one of the first people in the practice room, but I would just go through like the timeline and then just call my next spot and be like, okay, that one's gonna be mine. And then I lost in the finals my sophomore year, and I was like, okay, that spot's not mine. That ended up, going to Vinny. So I was like, okay, that next spot's gonna be mine this year. And then it was
No,
kind of like something to keep you going until you get that done.
yeah, and I think most people notice by now, but how mental of a sport wrestling is, and just like, outside of wrestling, how important goal setting is. There's a lot of studies on it, just like visualization and goal setting on just how, if you truly believe in it, like how powerful the human brain is. It's like if
Yeah.
you truly believe in something, you truly believe in something, you're probably gonna do all the actions that are gonna require it to get done. So there's a good shot you end up getting it done because you saw something, you truly believed it, and you did everything to get there. Like it's a crazy thing, but it's a real thing, and that's something to piggyback off of there that I don't know many people know in the Monsignor Fowl Wrestling Room. I was there recently. I love going back there. There's pictures of all the former sectional champs, state placers, and then you got some big pictures for the former New York State champions. And I remember going into the room as fat, tubby fourth, fifth grade and be like, wow, look at these. They're like they're superheroes. And
Yeah,
then as you get older, like, once I won one Catholic State title, be like, man, that was like a lifelong goal of mine. Short lived lifelong because I was like 15. But I'm there. I'm like, well now I want the gold plaques for New York State placers.
yeah,
And eventually I want the big plaque, which there was one at the time. Shout out Rich Sissy. Like, and that's one. It looks really cool in our room, and I think it's a really unique thing we have. But I truly believe it's a reason for our success because they see it every single day.
100%. And then, like you said, like we were running into these people at the time too. Like in our middle school age, Sisti was on his way out of the high school room, so we were run into him a few times, and it's like, oh my God, that, like you said, like the superhero, he was on the wall. Like, oh my God. And then
He
it became
becomes a real person that was sitting in your shoes.
right,
You view him as a superhero, but then see him run in practice or whatever he's doing. You're like, well, he's not that much different from me. We're in the same
right,
place. We're doing the same thing. At one point in our lives, we were.
right. And it's just so crazy to just think about like now that perspective changing, where it was like having witnessed what we went through and now seeing the next state champion come out of our room, like witnessing it as a spectator, watching you and Terry win, and then watching the next one after. Like it's nice to kind of see the torch get passed in a way.
Yeah, and speaking on that, like obviously before I was at Thomas More, I was in the foul room the last couple off seasons before I was with the university. Like, and I've known Brendan. Like it was, I got a funny story about it. We were actually at our regional tournament in Oklahoma. And I was taking the guys to go eat right before the tournament. The guys are able to eat, so weights were good. So I was actually driving back from somewhere when the match started, and I was like, should I stay in the car, just kind of stay low? Because obviously, really want Brendan to win. Was rooting
Yeah.
for him hard, and I'm like, all right, well, I actually got to meet the guys. So I went in, and there was like 20 seconds left in the third period. There was a flurry at the end of that match, and the guys come over. I'm like, wait, wait, wait. I go, yo, be quiet. And they're like, yo, what's going? And then he ended up winning. I couldn't contain myself. I was jumping up and down in the hallway, in the hotel lobby, looking like an idiot. Be like, "What are you doing?" I go, "You did it," and it was such an awesome thing because I know all the work that's been put in from the program, and and obviously from Brennan and the person he is and the wrestler he is. Like it was a beautiful moment. I was almost in tears. It was amazing.
I was in tears. I can say in confidence that I was in tears. Like I was actually shaking from nerves because like
Same. I was shaking with that phone in
see,
my hand.
okay, so at least I can't be the only one because I was like, it can't just be me. Because even when I was in like high school watching like you, Terry, Mikey wrestle, I would kind of get like even Ryan, because like I was very close with Ryan Siller too. So I was like, even like I was like, oh, like because I really want
Shout
our
out.
guys to win and obviously have the best outcome possible. And obviously there were certain positions, like especially with like Mikey and everything like that, where it was like, okay, if he lost or it didn't go that well, I can try and get the match. Some of his guys ended up going like 13 my senior year, things like that. So I was like, all right, I can try and like redeem it for
Yeah.
us in a way if it doesn't go right. I can't do that
Yeah.
anymore. I don't have that ability. If it doesn't go right, I
No.
gotta live with those results.
And it's funny you mentioned that is kind of going off of that. It was our regional tournament was the next day there too, and I was a nervous wreck watching Brennan. I don't think I've ever been more nervous in my life than coaching our guys right before the match at the
Yes.
regional tournament. And all year, like this is my first year transition to full time coaching. Like I get nervous for our guys' match, but middle of the year stuff, kind of lower stakes. I was a wreck that day at that regional tournament. Trying to hold it together. Well, like everyone gets a little nervous when they wrestle. Your nerves are 10 times X,
Oh yeah.
10x when you're a coach or a supporter of someone
Oh yeah.
wrestling. It's like I don't know what it is. I don't know because you've been in their shoes before, or is it that like it's all up to them? As at least as the athlete, you have some say in what happens. Coach maybe a little bit, but in that moment, you really don't have much. So like, yeah, it's it's an emotional roller coaster coaching, but it's a different thing. But it's great.
It's
It's
absolutely great. Like I said, the I
when they get it done, it's sometimes even better than when you get it done as a wrestler.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like watching someone else achieve something, especially something that they didn't think that they could achieve, like knowing that internal conflict that they overcame it, came out on top both physically and mentally. Like that's a different feeling as a coach to experience. Like
Yeah,
the amount of times that I probably looked at Terry and like did this, like it was probably a dozen times where it probably became a thing where it was like about once a tournament where I was like getting like nerves for my wrestlers and I was like I can't do this anymore. Like I'm gonna have a
yeah.
heart attack super young. Like I'm not even drinking the energy drinks or anything. Like I'm just gonna plummet my health off of stress and anxiety. Um
No, it is crazy. I swear I'm already getting gray hairs from this year.
oh yeah, I think I saw one in like my beard or something. I was like, we're gonna take that out. We're not gonna show any signs of age yet. Only
Yeah,
23. Don't want to be called unk yet, you know. That started getting thrown around a bit this year in the room.
I already am.
You can't have that. Can't have that. Once the kids start calling you Unk, that's when you know you got to lock in.
Yeah. Well, when the other kids on your team start calling you Unc when you're a 6 year senior, kind of hits you a little earlier, which is
Oh
deserved.
no.
Yeah,
Didn't
yeah,
even think of that possibility.
yeah, yeah.
I
Well,
thought it was the one time I did like the 30-second go and I was like, ah. And they're like,
uh,
tired already, Unk? And I'm like, all right, never mind. Next go. We're in this one. Can't get gas yet.
yeah. I got the Unc nickname thrown around a lot my last year wrestling. So I was a 6 year senior, so it was well deserved. I take it as a compliment.
Oh
Been around
yeah.
the block a few times.
Showing your experience, not your age.
Yeah.
And then before we wrap everything up for this episode, what are some final words or anything you would like to share to everyone at home before logging off for today?
It's a great question. You can put me on the spot here.
Ah, a little
Um,
surprise.
I would say my biggest things is one, you're doing an amazing job. I follow your stuff all the time. Helps me keep up with the Catholic wrestling, which is, there's a lot going on right now. There's a lot of exciting stuff. So sure that helps you out with your page because there's a lot of great stuff going on. Kind of just want to share my kind of just excitement for New York wrestling and Catholic school wrestling. It's a lot of fun to see. A lot of fun to see the success of all the programs. And another thing I mentioned too, it's not just your main powerhouses. We all know who they are. You see some other small schools have success too, which just makes called the ecosystem, just that Catholic school wrestling ecosystem just even better. Like it's a lot of fun to watch. Um, just off of that, you know, just plug in Thomas More Wrestling. I think it's a great school, great environment, great program. Join a fellow CHSAA alumni there, coaching, cheering you on. Other than that, just want to thank you for having me on. Give me a little spotlight. You're doing great things over there, and I'm just glad you had me on.
Of course, anytime. You know, you're my brother, so been not only around the room with me a while, you've been in my life for a while, so practically family. We are family, so if
Much.
there's anything you need that we're over here to help you out, we're just one call away. And for everyone at home that's watching, you got family now in Kentucky too, guys. This RB
Oh yeah.
family is strong. We are spreading. We're getting our roots everywhere. So if you're interested in that nice Kentucky lifestyle, getting a great education in Thomas More
Oh,
University,
oh, oh, oh. Something I forgot to mention too. Thomas More is a Catholic university, so for all your CHSA guys, if you want to continue your Catholic education, which is someone that graduated from Catholic high school, actually elementary school too, elementary, high school, and got my bachelor's degree from a Catholic college, and now getting my master's degree while coaching from Catholic University. I think it's a easy plug and play fit into what you're used to in your schooling. Forgot to mention that part.
absolutely, absolutely. And that's a great pull as well because it's a transition. It's not so much an adjustment. Like you're just going to transition from a high school mindset to a college mindset and adjusting to that college schedule. It's not a huge change in your lifestyle. if it's a Catholic university, you're already used to living in a Catholic setting with your high school because 4 years, and
Yeah,
whether it's Monsignor Farrell, St. Francis, or St. Anthony's, you're living in a Catholic setting. So it's a transition, not so much an adjustment, which is amazing.
that's a great way to put just the transition from high school to college. Like people ask me about, it's honestly the you're not doing much different. You're going to practice, you're going to class, you're hanging out with your buddies.
Yeah.
The only difference is you're on your own.
Yeah.
Your parents aren't on top of you. You don't have so much people saying, "Oh, you have to be at this class." Well, we do tell you have to be at practice, but you have to be at this class. Oh, your parents say, "Oh, you gotta have to get your homework done." Oh, you have to do this. A lot more independence, and that's a great way to put it. You're doing the same things, just you're kind of in charge, and that
Yeah.
would say was the biggest transition to college.
Yeah, just adjusting to the independency for sure, just because knowing that you have that freedom of choice, but also freedom of like reward or consequence. Being rewarded
Hmm.
for doing those decisions on your own and going that extra mile if you want to, whether that's networking, like we were talking about before, and really trying to set up the next 40 years of your life, or whether you skip those classes, don't take those assignments as seriously, things like
Yeah,
that. You kind of reap more of the consequence instead. Um, so like I said, it's more of that transition rather than an adjustment. If like our Catholic guys like to transition to a Catholic university, it's more of a transition, not an adjustment. And I think
100% agree with that.
someone we've kind of spawned him in. We said his name more than 3 times, I think.
We
Oh,
sure.
jeez.
What are we
Oh,
doing?
jeez.
What are we doing here? Look at that guy.
Dude, you're like half camoed into the green screen.
Step in front of
Guys,
the green screen because it's not going to know what to do.
what's up, guys? What are we
This
doing?
guy loves the spotlight.
Yeah, I do.
We said his name a few times and it was like Beetlejuice. He had to come in.
He spawned them in.
He's kind of like an apparition too because we can't really see him. I'm kind of poking through him right now.
Yes.
So I think we just spawned him
He's the ghost of
like a
Catholic
ghost
wrestling
of
past.
Pharaoh wrestling.
Ghost of Catholic wrestling past.
We'll kind of have to put up a video about that maybe. But
Maybe.
definitely, like I said, continuing on from where we left off, um, you always have us for whatever you need, obviously, like that. And if there's any of our wrestlers who definitely, if they reach out to me, if any interest is expressed about Thomas More University, I will definitely let you know and swing that your way. And if there's anything that we can continue to do for you, you let us know.
Love it. Again, greatly appreciate you bringing me on here. It was a great time.
Alrighty. And I'm gonna be logging off this episode. Alrighty. This was Daniel Adams, and we were joined by James Ryan from Thomas More University. Thank you so much, brother, for joining us on. I know you
Of
have a very
course.
busy schedule, so we really appreciate you taking the time to join us.
Thank you.